take a moment and introduce myself. I know that I see a lot of familiar friends, so welcome back. For those of you who are new, I am Megan. I am an education and outreach specialist at the National Renewable Energy Laboratory out here in Golden, Colorado. I live here in Denver. I am almost always outside because I live in one of the sunniest states in the United States. We get 300 plus days of sunshine, which is why it's actually really cool that we're able to study renewable energy at our laboratory, because it turns out Colorado's kind of a cool place to study renewable energy. Now, today we are going to specifically be talking about sunshine, which is awesome. For those of you who have joined in the past, you know that we started on a book about wind energy, and then we talked about just what matter is. And so now for our third book, I want to read a book called Solar City by Allan Drummond. And now this book is kind of fun because this is actually set in Africa. So I want to take a second and show you guys where our story actually takes place, because it's going to take place in Morocco. And for those of you who don't know, Morocco is a little country right on the northeast side of Africa. So this little guy right here is Morocco. Sorry, I'm doing this with the mirror and it's actually really hard. So Morocco's right here. Oops, dropped my map. Right here. And we're going to be talking all about how Morocco, which is home of the Sahara Desert, built this really giant solar farm because they realized that if they have so much energy, they should really be harnessing it. So let's get right into our book. So this is The Solar Story by Allan Drummond. It's a long and dusty walk to school. The sun shines down on us nearly every day. Sun and more sun. Sometimes it seems like that's the only thing going on here. We live in Morocco, right in the top left hand of the corner of the map of Africa. So you can see it's pointing to it right here. The windows on my side of our classroom look out on the high Atlas Mountains. Sometimes a cool breeze blows in. But on the other side, the Sahara Desert begins. Nothing but millions of square miles of rocks, sand, and hot sunshine. The desert landscape around Gassad, our home, has looked the same for a very long time. Our teacher, Miss Abdullam, likes to talk about the big changes that are happening in our world. She also likes to ask big questions. Okay, class, solar energy. Do we all know what that means? The heat of the sun. Good. And what is solar power? Making electricity from sunshine. We all know the answers to those big questions. Why? Well, high up on the high ground, close to our village, the world's largest solar power plant is under construction. For a few years, we've seen big trucks coming and going. Now there are new pylons and wires all over, sending electricity far away to where it's needed. Around the plant, there are miles of high safety fences. On the long, hot, dusty walk back from school, we can see far away men in cranes working on the top of what will soon be the world's tallest solar tower. And I'll actually pull up a picture of this for you guys in a little bit to show you what it looks like, because it's really cool. Big changes are happening around us. But at my home, things look much the same. We still have our 5 sheep. What's going on, sheep? Bah. And our cows. The cows are munching on some grass. We still cook on an open fire and bake our own bread. Here's Mr. Mule, Dad's transport. What's going on, Dad? So if big changes are happening in the world, what is solar power actually doing for us? The next day, Miss Abdullam asked another one of her big questions. Okay, class, what does that mean? Sustainability. Sustainability might be being strong and independent, or peace? Peace? Some kids giggled at Nadia's answer. Keeping things going the way they are, thinking for the future, not using everything up, or maybe being a good farmer. Miss Abdullam laughs. Good answers. You're all correct, but in different ways. Sustainability means many things. Tonight, I want you to all think about sustainability and write something about it. But first, the field trip. Field trip? Okay, all aboard. Our village is hidden away down by the riverbed that flows only in the winter. Most of the year it's dry. There's hardly any water here. We can grow just a few things: palms, almonds, crops to feed the animals. At the top of the hill, there used to be nothing but rocks and stones and sometimes lizards. And always the sun shining down on us. But now look, there's a huge solar tower. We've got a bridge over the riverbed and a brand new road. Everything's amazing up here now, because just ahead is the biggest solar plant in the world. Now, this plant is actually no longer the biggest. Now the biggest is in China, but this one is still really cool because I'll show you the difference between the one that was built in China and the one that was built here in Morocco. This plant is the size of 3,500 soccer fields. Whoa! And contains 660,000 mirrors. That's a lot of mirrors. And nearly complete is the 800-foot-tall solar tower. It's surrounded by thousands of mirrors, each the size of our classroom. Whoa, that's so big. Cool. No. Hot. Very hot, says Ms. Abdullam. It will be 1,000 degrees at the top, in fact. I don't know about you guys, but I definitely would not want to be outside when it was 1,000 degrees. The mirrors will follow the sun as it moves across the sky, like sunflowers. You can see the giant curved mirrors focus the hot sun onto a glass pipe. Heat from this glass pipe and from the tower is used to make electricity. At the center of the plant is a control room, and at sunset, the desert dust is cleaned off the mirrors. Okay, class, when you get home, remember your sustainability homework. All that new technology right beside our village. And to think that back home, we don't even have internet. We'll just have to think for ourselves. Let's do our homework. By using the sun, we're not burning precious oil, coal, or gas. And if you guys don't remember, which is totally fine, we call those fossil fuels. And those are the opposite of renewable energies. Those are non-renewable energy sources, which means that we could eventually run out of them. So by using the sunshine, that's sustainability. Maybe one day, with the help of solar power, Morocco won't need to buy oil and coal from other countries to make electricity. That's energy independence, and that's sustainability. But what else is sustainability? And what is the solar plant doing for us right here in our village? Well, there's Yusef's cousin, Ahmed. When he helped build the plant, he learned to weld metal. Now he's got his own workshop. He's independent, and he's given 2 jobs to 2 people. That's sustainability. And the solar plant has started a new college in the nearby city. People go there by bus to learn new skills with wood, with cloth, with clay. They hope to get jobs and start businesses themselves. And of course, there will be new jobs at the solar plant. That's sustainability. And the solar plant pays for experts to show our farmers better ways to keep sheep. Now that we have more than just 5 sheep, and this will help everyone through hard times. And that's sustainability. Other farmers are learning new ways to grow bigger, better almonds, palms, and olives during the dry summer. We'll be able to grow much of our own food, and that's sustainability. Until recently, the solar plant used our precious water for cleaning the mirrors and for cooling. Now they use air pressure and electric power from the plant, and that's sustainability. We've got a new mobile medical center. It helps us all, including mothers and their babies, stay healthy. More sustainability. Miss Abdullam says we will eventually get the internet at school, which we really do need. Education, even more sustainability. So there's actually a lot happening here. It's still a long, hot, and dusty walk to and from school, and the sun does shine on us nearly every day. But that's not the only thing that's going on here. Living alongside the world's largest solar plant means we've all started to think about the future. Not just the future of our community or the future of Morocco, but the future of Africa. Sustainability is a way of thinking about the future of the whole world. Maybe because so many wars are about oil and other resources, sustainability will lead to a more peaceful world. Maybe Nadia is right. Maybe sustainability could mean peace. So now I want to take a second and I want to actually show you guys what this power plant looks like, because it is really, really cool. So this is a picture of the solar plant. Now it might be kind of hard to see, I apologize. So I'm going to angle this guy down. But you guys, oops, as I pull up silly pictures. You can see that in the center, there's this giant tower, and all of those mirrors surrounding it are the solar power lamps.
It's a little rainbowy.
It's a little rainbowy. I apologize. It might be that the two screens are not super compatible with each other. But if you guys send me an email, I'll make sure that this is included in the email. I'll send this one out too. And now I want to pull up and see if we can get you guys to see the picture of, this is the power plant that's in China. Can you guys see what this one is built on? Does this one look like it's built on the ground? Or does it look like it's built on something else? Can anybody see it? I'll pull it back a little bit and see if that helps. Can you guys see the difference?
It's built on water.
It is. This one is built on water, which is actually really cool too, because while the one in Africa, we can build it on land because the Sahara Desert is not super usable for humans. Now, we do want to protect it because deserts are a very important ecosystem. So we don't want to like cover the desert with these solar panels. But if we can build on just a small part that can't be inhabited by people and animals, we can create all that energy. But in China, land is kind of important. It's a really dense populated area. So by creating this solar panels built on water, we actually get to create kind of new usable space, which is awesome. Now, one of the things that is really interesting that some of you might not have known was, did you guys know that not every household in the world has electricity? So our friend in that book actually talked about it, that in her village, they don't really use electricity. They bake on fires and they do all these other things. So using renewable energy is actually one of the ways that we're thinking about that we can get electricity into some of these places that don't have it yet, which is really, really cool and kind of interesting. Does anybody have any questions for me? Of course you guys don't. That's okay. I know that you're all solar energy experts. But now I want to talk about today's activity and what I'm going to have you guys do, because today's activity is kind of fun. You guys are going to get to do a solar and sustainability scavenger hunt. So you'll see that I have created a little bingo board that I'm going to slowly fill in. And I have some ideas for things that are powered by the sun. And some of them are kind of creative. Others of them are a little bit more obvious. But I want to see if you guys can help me out and see if you guys can think of anything that you know that uses the sun to get energy. Can anybody think of anything?
Rainbow.
Yes, actually a rainbow is on my list because it turns out that rainbows happen because of sun going through water droplets in the atmosphere. So I am going to take my bingo card, and in my top corner, and you'll see I actually have rainbow colored pens here because I love color. I'm going to write rainbow. So now if I'm out on my walk later and I see a rainbow, I'm going to be able to put a check mark in that box. So a rainbow is a great example. Does anybody else have another one? Yes, plants are such a good example. Now, there are so many examples of plants. So I am going to write down a couple different plants that I might see. Like I might see a pink flower. So I'm going to write down pink flower in my box. What other color flowers might I see?
Dandelion.
I might see dandelions. That's a great example. So I'm going to write down dandelion. I'm going to write that in yellow since dandelions are yellow.
Purple. Purple.
Yes, that's a great example. Actually, I'm realizing I don't know how to spell dandelion. So that's a guess, but that's okay. I'm going to write down purple flowers. I'm going to write my purple. What was that?
Eggplant.
Yes.
Eggplant.
Actually, it is vegetable season, so you might see an eggplant. So I'm going to write down that I might see an eggplant flower. I actually don't have a purple pen. I don't know where my purple marker went. So I'm going to have to write my eggplant in pink, which is just silliness. So I'm going to write down eggplant. That's a great example. I might see a veggie garden. So I'm actually going to write down vegetable garden because that could be something I see. So I'm going to write down vegetable garden. And you'll notice I'm just writing these down in any order. So I'm kind of putting them all over the place. And I'm just going to slowly fill this out. Now, for those of you who have played bingo before, you know that that center space is always the free space. So I want to tell you one of the coolest things that's powered by sunshine, and that is you. You are actually powered by sunshine. The food that we eat, every bit of the food that we eat is actually powered by sunshine. When you eat a vegetable, that takes in the energy from the sunshine. If you eat meat, then those animals have to eat things that's powered by the sunshine. So those animals are powered by sunshine. So we are really powered by sunshine. So in my center free space, I'm going to write you. So I'm gonna write it in rainbow colors because I love colors. So I'm gonna write Y-O U exclamation point. Exclamation point. Oops, this one was already open. And so what you guys are gonna do is I won't sit here and fill out the whole thing, but you'll notice. Oh, I wrote it in oh no, I did do it in the right space. Oh, my thing's just wrong. I made a bad bingo card. I'm so sorry. So you'll notice that your top one, you'll just automatically get, and that's totally fine. So that's on me. Did bad counting. Happens to the best of us. So anyways, you can just fill this out, and you will, if you do your solar bingo card, and you get bingo through one of your lines, any one of them. So it can be one of the sideways ones, one of the ones that goes across, one of the ones that goes down. Even if it's just the SOLAR, that's totally fine. If you and your parents can send me a picture of your completed bingo card when you got bingo, I will send you a special NREL prize. So this week's kind of fun because it can come with a prize. So again, I'm going to drop my email in the chat box just one more time so that, so that people can email it to me. So it's there one more time. Also, parents, if you want to shoot me an email so that you can get this PDF file, totally fine. I'm happy to send it to you. But does anybody have any questions for me? All right. Well, next week. What was that?
Are you going to take a video going on your scavenger hunt?
You can take a video of you going on your scavenger hunt. You do not need to. I trust that if you're sending me your completed card that you did it. So I just need a picture. A picture's totally fine. If you want to send a video, you're more than welcome to, but I'll accept just a picture. Any other questions?
Megan, can you tell us how you pick the winners?
Oh, anybody who sends me a picture will be a winner.
Okay.
So if you send me a picture of your card with your address, I will ship off a little prize, no matter where you are.
Okay.
And this is an everyone can win situation.
Okay.
Next week is actually really fun. Next week, we're going to read a book that's all about energy, and we are going to use our own kinetic energy to make ice cream. So next week is really, really fun. So I hope that you guys can all join me next week. In really exciting news, we also are hopefully getting our event calendar up and going this week. So you guys will actually be able to visit our NREL Education page and get the link right there and see all of the supplies that you need. So yay! Yay, education calendar. So that's exciting news on our end. So hopefully that will go live. It might go live either Friday or Monday. If it's not up by next week, I apologize. You can look for my emails in the same places from wherever you're getting them.
Now say hello to Megan.
Hello to Megan.
Yes, Neil Monster.
Asparagus is in a vegetable garden.
Yes, you do have asparagus in your vegetable garden. And that is powered by the sun.
Asparagus. I love asparagus.
You love asparagus? That probably makes your mom very sad.
We like asparagus.
I also love asparagus. My sister does not love asparagus.
So you can
Yeah. Thank you guys all for coming today. It was so fun to see everybody.
Megan?
Yes.
Can you put grass on your card?
You can absolutely put grass on your card. Grass is definitely powered by the sun. I actually have both grass and I have a rock garden on mine because even though a rock garden isn't powered by the sun, a rock garden in a state like Colorado is actually a really sustainable way to have a really nice yard. So I think that listing things that also play into sustainability is really important. So I think having grass on there is great. I think having a rock garden on there is great. Great question.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Trees.
Trees are great. You could have a big tree. You might have a small tree. You might have a bush. Maybe it's a really big bush. Maybe it's a really small bush. Lots of options.
Trees are all trees.
Trees are all trees. That's fine. You can only put tree on there once.
Leaves are on trees.
Leaves are on trees. That is so true. And leaves are part of the tree that's powered by the sun.
Well, the sun is so hot to go be up in the solar system.
The sun is so hot and it is up in the solar system. That is exactly right.
Let's our turn to make a stage.
Yep. We'll make our.
All right.
Thank
Well,
you.
if nobody else has any questions, I think we're going to sign off, but it was so good to see everybody again, and I will see you next Wednesday.
Thank you.
Yep.
Thank you, Megan.
Thank you, Megan.
Bye, everybody.